What's up, everyone? And this is Next Level Thinking. You hear the music, it's another grand day, and happy New Year's. It is 2025. We are alive, and we are alive. We are ready to do some great things because this is your year to do even better than last year because we are always focused on the growth. It's your host, as always, C. Holmes of Next Level Thinking, and then I have some special powerful guests, as you can see. But let me go ahead and let them introduce themselves to you as I get ready to leave you with some powerful remarks and things you may want to keep to reminisce throughout the year. Go ahead and tell the audience a little bit about yourself.
How's it going, everybody? My name is Waddleton. I'm a graphic designer out here in Texas. I do business logos, branding. I work for a few larger companies, and I do consulting as well.
Awesome. And then we have the one and only Edwards. Go ahead and just tell them a little bit about yourself.
That's Ed Ruhnke here to see you today. I'm the founder and president of Our Liberation Foundation. We've put together 5 books, one of them coming out this month. We are so excited. And I just want to say one more thing. Welcome to the Liberation Station.
Yeah, he said it live just like that, Liberation. And go ahead, just pan that camera just a little bit because I want them to see the words that is right behind you. You see that?
Yeah.
Go
Easy
ahead.
does it, folks. One day at a time, live and let live. See, we go through all this struggle trying to be like, oh, I can't get my mom to behave. My kids keep acting out in Walmart. And we don't just say, hey, you know what? Let them be kids, right?
Absolutely.
That's who they are. Right? It's just like, oh, you can't have all these standards. Even my boy Aaron here, he said to me once in a call, he's like, Ed, your expectations are just too high. And I'm like, yeah, we're not talking about playing in the NBA championships, at least not for most people, whoever you work with, right? You just got to let everybody fill their lane and just let it be. That's half of liberation right there, is just living and letting live.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. So as I multitask and coordinating very much more, but how y'all feeling about 2025 before we dive into the deep discussions and leave them gems and much more for everybody?
I want to say one thing. I want Aaron to chime in. It's Aaron and Chris. I just get so excited thinking about your future. I just get goosebumps thinking about how exciting it is.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm excited for 2025 as well, man. I was making plans all night. I didn't even do all the usual celebration stuff. I'm just here with my family thinking like, all right, what I'm going to do first this year? And Lord bless and provide me with this opportunity to be on this podcast. So I'm like, all right, yeah, it's starting off to a good year. 2025 is going to be an opportunity for success for a lot of people, hopefully.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, much definitely. And then, my thing that I start too, I'm just like grateful for another opportunity. If every time I have breath of life, and especially going to 2025, and that just motivates me even more to leave a legacy and do the best and take never for granted every time that you have here to do something great. So many people just say negative and they don't realize the gift that you have to breathe life into your lungs and to see the sun and so much more. It's like, this is a grand gift, and we're going to 2025. So I can't wait to see what's coming up and then what's in store.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you remind me of a great author named Tim Story. And he was a coach and a pastor to Robert Downey Jr. and some other famous celebrities up there in LA when the shit had hit the fan in their careers and such. And he always talked about the comeback. And he said this in one of his audios on happiness. He says, well, maybe there's more happiness all around us. We just don't see it. He says, if you can see, be excited, you can see. If you can walk, be excited, you can walk. He goes, don't just think, well, once I get my remote control in my hand, then I'm happy. He goes, that's not realistic, man. That's just escaping from reality.
Hey, so those are some very wise words. So, you got to go ahead and clap it up. Hey! Yeah, we can never say. But what about for you, Aaron?
Could you repeat the question again?
Matter of fact, I just phrased it like this. What is you never take for granted? I'll phrase like that in that kind of a question.
Yeah, I would say what I never take for granted is I would say I never take for granted um, what the other person is going through, you know. So let's say if I'm working with them on a project, like they're trying to get a logo for their new business that they're starting, you know, I never take for granted the level of excitement that they may have in that moment, you know, and I want to offer my services and also have the same level of enthusiasm, because you never know what could branch from that, you know, and they could end up going off and doing a lot more based off of the extra motivation that you've given them. Or for example, a more somber situation would be the loss of a loved one. You know, you never know exactly what someone is going through at that time. You know, we don't know the gravity of the emotions and things that they're dealing with. So I always like to make sure that I address myself and know how I'm going into communicating with them my consideration for them and how I'm willing to help them. You know, you can't take for granted people's emotions going into things. You know, it really is like the catalyst that helps everything else blossom along the process.
Yep. And then it builds you better as a person. So I strongly definitely agree with that.
Yes.
There's always different perspectives, lens, different struggles, and much more. And I think if we take more consideration of that, I feel like it just makes life so much more better, in a place where we can actually, you know, acquire and live life how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, that's how you get that community, you know, that togetherness, you know, that openness and sharing with one another, you know.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Now let's go ahead and now we already dropping gems and things like that. But that was just the warm up. So let's go ahead and get real deep. And I'm talking about self education. So when it comes to self education, like what comes to mind, fellas? Because we have different kinds of resources that are available, such as you have your traditional school system, you have the universities, you also have Google, you have the library. Yes, I said the library. Don't forget about those things that you got actual, you know, scholar articles and much more. That's like, especially with the internet, you have all kinds of different information out there. And don't forget about at home. You know, you have your people you grew up with, your pastors, and all that kind of things. But when it comes to self-education, what comes to mind, fellas? And then I'll pitch in a little bit here and there. But what do y'all think?
I got a joke on this one. Okay, great. So as you were talking, I couldn't tell if you said library or library. And I said, down up here in Texas, we just go down to the library, pick up some movies. Because, you know, we can't read anyway. So why the hell would we need to get a book? I mean, unless they got some nice fancy pictures in there. Sorry, you just met my alter ego. Anyways, so just reminding me of this quote. I don't remember who said it, but it was, if you don't read, you have no advantage over those who cannot read.
Ooh.
So I'm not trying to get up all in your face. Maybe I am. But if you're trying to tackle 2025 thinking, well, things are going to be different. It's like, well, did you read?
Oh, well, it sounds like you are hitting some hot gems, but also fire some gunshots because they need to hear these words. So go ahead, fire it off, load up the clip, because there's some things that they need to hear and understand if you're in here far in the background.
Cracking those words like a whip.
For sure.
Anyways, so Brian Tracy, he said, in the next 5 years, the only difference between who you are now and who you are then is the people you meet and the books you read.
Ooh.
And I'm like, well, what's holding you back? Napoleon Hill said, I'd like to take a look at the guy that can stop me from being successful. I just want to take a look at him and just ponder. It's like, how do you think you're going to stop me from being successful? And then that's Napoleon Hill. He only was a compadre of Andrew Carnegie for 25 years, but what does he know? So back to the thing is, one of my personal development guys back in like 2008 or so, Bob Safford, a multi-millionaire, his company brought in at least $4 million a year before he picked up a single telephone call.
Oh, right. Wow. That says a lot right there.
Yeah. He said this, he said, Proverbs is the best book on sales management that exists. I said, well, so I read the dang book like 7 times in 21 days, right? Because I was just committed to get everything I could get. Not like I'm all that brilliant. I always say this. It's like, yeah, you think I'm smart. Yeah, you say I'm talented. He's like, no, I just had some really great teachers and mentors, and I was smart enough to listen to them some of the time. You know, you don't need to be all arrogant if you know something that people don't really care, especially if you have a smattering of knowledge. But just read everything you can that'll help you, man. Like, dude, I love when people fucking like walk in somebody's house or like listen to this fucking like scathing news article, like, oh, this person did this and killed this person, and oh, and then this happened, and then this rape, and I'm like, oh my God, like, what's wrong with you? One of my clients, she said this. She goes, oh my gosh, I'm so nervous. I said, why? She goes, well, I have a baby now, and then lights went out. I need to check the sex offender registry in my neighborhood. I said, why? Your baby's like 5 months old. She goes, I'm just worried about it. I said, you should be worried about getting a fucking job.
That part.
Not the dang. I mean, come on, man. You're in, I don't know. It's just crazy to think that, okay, well, whatever you're watching, you're feeding your mind that fear-based, sensationalistic media crap, which honestly, bro, if you're thinking about that, nothing lives in your head rent-free. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
You're either growing or dying. You're green, you're growing. You're not, you're rot.
Let me pitch on to that and add on to what you're saying. And also, you allow, a lot of people forget that you allow certain things to come into your mind. You give permission for that. And a lot of people, I feel like, are so used to toxicity that they don't know actually how to live in peace. So anytime they get in moments of peaceful environments, it rattles them, and they shouldn't think like that because they're so used to those toxic environments. But I 100% agree with you. What you surround yourself with, what you hear, what you watch on TV, and so much more influence your perspective of what you see in life. And I feel like that needs to be more put into awareness and educated and then told and even taught in our own households a lot more often. Because we teach a lot more things like all the time, but what you allow to influence yourself impacts you so much on a daily basis. And if you don't pay attention to it, it will really creep up to you. And a lot of times what I see, unfortunately, is other people tell you before you realize it, but you better be grateful that they did say something because they could just left you out in the air. And then also shout out to Arshia. Thank you. She says, hello, gentlemen, and a happy new year. Great blessings and great things to you as well.
We must have her fooled if she thinks we're gentlemen.
Sure.
Yes, a long, good time friend, and she does great things as well. But go ahead and hit, because I know you want to.
I want to pass the baton to Aaron. I'm just going to drop a couple quotes here. It's I was teaching my students at school once. I said, no one can read for you; they can only read to you. In other words, if you think that education is some kind of spoon process, you're hideously mistaken. Right? And by that rhyme.
That part right there is going to hit.
All right, and the last one is I wrote a song called Pincher about if you corner my ass, here's the clincher, I'm a Doberman pincher. Ha ha ha. So, but in one of the verses it says education ain't free, and I said ain't on purpose because it's like you come in here and you just want to chill out in high school and try to get what's interested in you. Where the hell is your brain, man? Your ability to command English language, to whip up words like dynamite, that's your ability to break through to the next level. I don't care if it's management, running your department, running your company, or even just being self-employed. Aaron has big dreams to serve people all over the world. I mean, he's done design. He's all humble like this, right? For the NFL. The NFL. Well, that might be something worth putting a freaking feather in your cap. You know what I'm saying? But he's like so chill and down to earth and compassionate. You'd never know that he's fucking big time. That's why you got to, if you need some design work, you got to check him out, see if you can get on board with him. So Aaron, I'll pass it to you about education and just like what you think about self-determining with that.
Oh yeah, I think y'all hit a lot of the points that I was thinking as I was going along. But I think one thing I could add is study what you enjoy. If you find something interesting that you may have seen online. And the algorithms are so crazy. You could talk to your phone and then open it up and it'll send you some stuff before you even realize it. So I would say that's another part of it is, find things that you're interested in and then do deep dives. Just go into deep dives into that. And then as you read and you find footnotes, you'll find other information and you'll just keep spiraling, learning. And as far as school would go, school is a great source, to continue your learning and everything, but I've always seen school as a way to it is a way to teach you how to learn rather than to teach you things. It's teaching you how to put yourself in that headspace for learning or feeding that curiosity, that natural thought processes, to where you're going off and trying to figure out things on your own, as well as that coupled with things you get at home, like you said, from your family members. I used to see words or hear stuff on TV, and I asked my dad, "Dad, what is that? What is that word?" And he'd tell me, "Go look it up." And oh my
I used to hear that a lot.
much.
Yeah, you don't like it at the time, but then you're later on, you go, thank God.
Yeah. Now I can't
that,
stop myself.
That needy codependent habit.
Yes, exactly. So I would say, like y'all were saying, you have to go out and find your own information, find things that you're interested in, so that it won't be hard to learn stuff. It's not hard to learn something that you're already interested in. Think of all the kids with the video games. They learn that stuff in like 5 or 10 minutes, like the first 2 or 3 rounds, because they're so they're so interested in it.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, right. So I think that's the main thing about self-educating outside of academics and things of that nature. You gotta keep yourself motivated in trying to learn new things, trying to keep your mind fresh, keep that elasticity going up there so that you can tackle anything that may come your way.
Yeah, be pliable like Gumby. I'll be quiet.
No, express yourself much more. And I want to, before I had to take a note before I forget it, I want to also add on to that is like, because I know we live in this technology world much more, you got esports and that. So I would say this, especially the young, make sure you get your education, do well in school, take advantage of organizations that you attend, and take advantage of the network, because you're building relationships that's going to aid you in the future. So do all that, and then if you are interested, let's say, this is being honest, I'm being transparent, like video games, be productive with it, but make sure you get your education as well, because you may be a developer, or if you want to compete, make sure you build the platforms like that on Twitch and much more, but still be educated. Don't just do that and don't actually put valuable information in your mind, because you want to provide yourself with many opportunities, because the world is yours and the sky's the limit. So I want to put that out there. But there's something that you said I had to make sure, and as soon as I say it, you're like, yeah, let me add on to that. Needing a codependent habit. And I want you, I have an idea, but I'm give you a moment to shine on this. What do you mean by that? Because I don't want to assume.
Okay, well, Aaron was talking about daddy, juice. Tell me. Why are
Not
the stars,
daddy, juice.
Why are the stars in the sky? Why is the sun so yellow, or whatever he was? The exact question doesn't matter. But he said, look it up. There's a saying, it's called seek the heat, right? And like, I'm dating right now, right? So like, I got like some women like, okay, why don't you just swoop in here and just bail me out of my shit? Unless you're like solid handling your shit without me, I have zero interest in entertaining a second conversation. Now, I'm not like a hard ass. I can be super patient. I mean, we own a nonprofit that does, therapy and mental health services. I mean, we've done this thousands and thousands of hours. But essentially, like, if somebody doesn't have the wherewithal to search in a book for the exact definition of articulate, persuasive, whatever the word is, malaise. You don't even know that you feel malaise every time you have a coughing fit. So don't tell your daddy, give me some medicine. That codependency is so deep in America because people are so damn entitled and they have it too easy. That's what I meant by codependent. It wasn't like Aaron was like a little whiny kid. No, he's not. He's super independent and self-reliant. That's why I love him so much. That's why he's on our teams and he works with our clients. But like, it just makes me laugh when people go, I'll show you, right? For this. In high school, when you have your little student turn in their paper, right? 16-year-old. And I said, look, I don't fetch like a dog, because that's all they're trying to do. They're trying to push you around with their little, teeny bopper incessant crap.
Not the teeny boppers.
Yeah, but hey, let me drop a couple more quotes. The cell phone leash that chains thee, right? If you get up in the morning, your first thought is, let me see what's on the phone. You were already hijacked, man. I teach those students, I said, if you've got a phone, earbud in your ear, whatever you got, you have this like axe, like splits your brain in half. You might maybe be able to use half of it, maybe.
Maybe.
Your attention
Maybe.
span is jacked. Okay, not to mention split. Ahoy. Anyways, so and then Jim Rohn, he said, formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune. Another guy said, don't let school get in the way of your education.
Ooh.
That's talking
Man.
about being self-determining.
Yeah.
And the last one I'll leave you with, I'm going to drop this note on the floor like a fucking mic drop. It's many people are too damn comfortable.
Oh,
They're-
say it
they're-
again for the people in the back. Say it again for the people in the back. Say.
Most folks are too damn comfortable. They are asleep, hungover right now. It is not early. This is when you should have been at work for 2 hours or something like that, right? Like it's 9:30. I said, like yesterday, I swear I was done with my whole day's work by 8:30 a.m., maybe earlier. I started working at 3 a.m. You're like, well, that sounds like too much. Well, I'm not telling you to do that, but you got to work hard. If you give a crap at all about your future, I mean, forget your financial future. It's just about your family getting along with you. Good morning, Nicholas.
And Happy New Year to you as well.
Dude,
Yeah.
you have to work. Schwarzenegger has a little video. They condensed it down to like, it was a commencement speech. 4 minutes, the 6 rules of success from Arnold Schwarzenegger. And I'm like, but you don't have the time to listen to Arnold Schwarzenegger for 4 minutes.
4 minutes.
Yeah.
4 minutes. Big sacrifice. Hope
It's
you
like
can
2
tear
songs.
yourself away from the pumpkin pie or whatever shit you got going today. It blows my mind apart. It's like you have no commitment to your development, but you have plenty of commitment to YouTube videos.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And I guess I'll throw my little spill too. When it comes to education, you hit what I was about to lead in, like about being comfortable, but I'll just say it in this kind of words is always be a student. Like every day that you are here and you're blessed with the opportunity to have life, you should be challenging yourself to either learn something, you like pick up a book, article, or just kind of like read things and put into better thought to make yourself more valuable or even better than you were before then. And then kind of going back to what you were saying, like I'll challenge this. When you see things that you don't know, look it up. I never will forget, and especially with us both being in education, when there was testing time, but we were allowing dictionaries, and there was a word that a student didn't know. And they were like, hey, what's this word? And I was like, I can't tell you that, but there's a dictionary over there. And they were like, I was like, look, let me help you out. There's going to be, in life, there's going to be moments where I'm not going, or whoever is not going to be able to basically carry your hand. But the resources are going to be available for you to problem solve or figure things out. So I'm providing you with a dictionary to look up the word because I know, and I told y'all before in the beginning of class, like if you don't know a word, look it up because it may be a key to finding the actual solution to what you're looking for.
Absolutely.
So,
Like Les
pick up the
Brown
dictionary.
said, you got to be hungry.
Hungry.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that goes all around when it comes to life. You have to be hungry throughout. And there's, of course, going to be our good days or bad days where we don't feel like doing things, but that just comes down to discipline. And it's a good way. And this is also a way for us to transition to the next thing because there's going to be times where you don't feel like doing things. But if you want to reach certain goals or obtain certain relationships that's going to actually give you access to where you want to be in life, you have to have a good amount of discipline to move forward. And I really believe that in my own belief that that's what you need to do. So when it comes to goals and relations, like, what do y'all feel about that, fellas?
Could you restate the question just a little more clearly, please?
So, like, when it comes to since like the new year in 2025, what's the importance of having great goals and relationships moving forward? I'll phrase it like that.
How about I invite Aaron to go first, brother?
Yeah, that's a pretty good question. I guess the goals would probably be like to expand your network as much as possible. Like networking is everything, especially for a visual artist, because, you know, I make money off of gathering an artist, going out and meeting people, you know, getting people interested in coming to see my collections and things of that nature, you know, and in that process, since I've gotten out of college, I've been in I have 4 really great networking groups that I've created. You know, I got Ed here with Our Liberation, great group of guys. We're helping musicians with rehabilitation or creative blocks, things of that nature, providing retreat opportunities, things of that nature. I mean, I'm in this Dream Leadership Academy. It's like a chess club. It's an all Black men's chess club. You know, we go around, we do, we help under service communities. You know, that's really great. And then I got one of my best friends and my roommate. His name is like Mark Speed. He's this photographer guy, and he made this Eureka Team group chat, and it's just a group of like-minded individuals, artists, photographers, and we're all like coming together and giving each other ideas. We're always inviting people to our activities. You know, we're always trying to find ways to make monies for the group, even with Ed and with the Dream Leadership. You know, and so I would say you have to spread yourself out as much as possible. You know, you have to give yourself room to make as many connections as you can so that you can really start to put some more things in motion. You know, you can't do it by yourself, you know, and it's no fun doing it by yourself.
Absolutely.
And
can I chime in real quick? I'm gonna say one quick
yeah.
thing. This morning I was at a spiritual meeting at like 7:00 a.m., right? Which obviously I should have slept in, you know, got up like 10 minutes before our episode. I'm kidding. But like Aaron said, this old guy approaches me and he's like 60 something, right? At least. He goes, yeah, man, I just got goals, but I just can't get there. And I said, where are you trying to go? He's like, Austin, my kids moved to Austin, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, dude, you just got to have somebody like Aaron said, that gives a shit about your goals.
Yeah.
You got to like make sure you report to them, right? They're not going to go chase you down for free like your boss, right? Yeah. Chris, you didn't turn in your report. It's like the boss doesn't even care. The boss is after you because they have somebody after them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But when it comes to your personal goals, right? If Aaron doesn't open up the art center, it's like, well, it's not going to break me, right? But I give a crap that Aaron wins, right?
Yeah, and vice versa.
Landmark Worldwide, they got a great saying. It's everybody wins. You know, it's like the military. You don't leave any man behind. And I get that, but like just like the military, just like the NFL, you don't have the same standards for every avenue or venue you get involved with, but you have to push the standards, right? If you're just so like complacent, right? I'll just give you a quote from an AA client of mine. He said, "Are you complacent? Boy, you better come place your ass in a meeting." And I said, dude, if that ain't fucking word to the wise, right? That keeps your mind sharp because you see other people doing what you want to do. And you go, well, he ain't that much smarter than me. She ain't that much more talented than me. How come I'm not doing it? If, you know, here I am like sucking wind, you know, going up a flight of stairs, for example.
Yeah, exactly. And I think another part of that is like the different groups. You know, you meet someone new, you learn something new about a section of your community that you didn't even know existed. You know, like one of the groups I was in, the chess club, he saw me at the gas pump going to work, and he was like, he looks like he actually has something to do today. You know, he looked like he's finna go. You know, he has a goal, he has a task. Let me invite him to this chess club. You know, it's the same way I met Ed. You know, he was like, oh, this seems like an interesting guy. You know, let me see what he's up to, see what he's doing. You know, and it's just that simple. You know,
he's been regretting it ever since.
Right? Oh my goodness! What am I going to do?
He's like, my phone's ringing again. Oh no!
But let me go and give cheers to that and much more. But you know what? Like when it comes down to obtaining success and much more, you do need people around you that's going to push you, especially. Like you will really find out if they're actually for you, if they genuinely care, if they are willing to push you like that. Now, a lot of times you have those, and that's where you need to be disciplined because not everybody's going to be like your mother and be like, okay, you need to get up, you need to do this and much more. You got to be able to do those actions on your own. Like you're not going to always have people like, even if you've been rejected, to still go after more sales and much more. You have to have that discipline. But even with all that, it's always good to have a great support group. And I want to phrase this question like this so we can add even more great gems to this is I'll say like this, isn't it important to have great relationships? Because is that the key to your next step to obtaining what you want and goals? Because we all know relationships for everything, but to make it more simple, Are relationships a key to your success? Is how I phrase that question.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Can I take this one, bro?
Go ahead.
Yeah, go for it.
So here's the thing. It cut me off in 2 minutes. Looks like we just hit 30 on our live stream. But just when I think about relationships, man, like I think I told you this summer, I made up this quote. It's friends don't let friends not have goals.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and TD Jakes up there in Dallas, he said, I love you too much to leave you like you are.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope if you're watching this, you're taking some friggin' notes because I'm not going to spit it again. It's just like, think about it this way for a second. I had a client that was a real estate broker back like 2-3 years ago. And I asked her, I said, why do you get on the phone with me so often at like 7 o'clock in the morning? And she says, you're like the Energizer Bunny. I plug into you for a few minutes and I can go for hours.
Yep.
And then another thing is like, because I try to be an inspiration, right? If you didn't notice yet, that's one of my goals, right? To be like lit up like a Christmas tree. My personal, like, one of my favorite quotes is, if you light yourself on fire, people will come from miles around to watch you burn. You know?
Yeah.
And then I'll give you another quote from a lady. She said, I met you and the pain went away. And then I've heard this more times than I can count. You're refreshing. But I'm just here, you know, Chris, to flatter myself. No, it's like this. You can be refreshing, man. Why don't you go refresh somebody else?
Mm-hmm.
You know, why don't you go inspire somebody else? How are you going to be like depressed if you're constantly pursuing something and you're picking up people off the ground? I'm talking about, I've done this with dementia patients near death. I've wiped the guy's rear end. The next day he's dead. You think you're going to scare me? But you got to go out there and be so damn resilient. I was thinking about this the other day. We were talking a few minutes ago about John Mitchell. John Mitchell is the head trainer, the founder and CEO of the Fat Body Gym Corporation. And I know what you're thinking, a gym. It's not FAT, it's PHAT. Come on, guys, wake up. Fat Body Gym Corporation. If this guy is a bodybuilder and has won competitions and he has 42 trainers under him that feed him money every single day for their work, and he puts people to win freaking women's shows and freaking men bodybuilder shows. That's what he does. Mm-hmm. Does he know something about goals? Well, he's my trainer. Yeah. He's my trainer. Well, you think I'm just going to come at you? Oh, yeah, you know, you need to do this and that and this. But I don't have a coach trainer myself. I have multiple. One time I had 5. I think Tiger Woods has 5, or at least he did when he was not doing the other thing that he was doing.
Yeah.
Anyways, but as far as relationships, I'm going to say like this, right? I've met people, they said this to me once. The only person I talked to is my wife. And I knew her. And I thought to myself, damn, I feel sorry for you. Right? You want to sit on a one-legged stool? You want to go down, sit at the one-legged table? Right? Freaking try to eat your dinner, man? Good luck. You know what I'm saying? You got to have at least some kind of base, not just with your God and your spouse or girlfriend if you got them, right? Mm-hmm. But you have to have people that are rock solid, like Aaron, Greg Lonsway, Perry Ruthven on our team, you know, guys like Chris that you can reach out to. I mean, these guys, you know, they got to charge you something. But like Aaron told me this, and I'm done. He said, some people are just addicted to therapy.
Oh, man. Said a whole mouthful over there.
My life is so hard. You don't understand. My parents.
People will get offended if you try to correct them or you change directions.
My girlfriend is so mean to me. Well, get rid of her. Mm-hmm. If she's a damper on your spirit, you know what I'm saying? Like you have a responsibility to be up. I mean, imagine if Jesus or Paul the Apostle went out there and said, well, this whole preaching thing kind of wearing me out, man. I'm just going to take a hiatus. Ooh. What? There'd be no church, dude. Yeah, I'm just going to take a vacation, Jesus. Mm-hmm. No, you go on vacation once it's all over with, once you reach your goals.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm going actually as soon as we're done. How about that?
Yeah.
Want to add on to that, Aaron?
And we were talking about the quality of the relationships, correct? the quality of the relationships. Yeah, I think the quality is definitely important. Like if you have a machine, one piece breaks down, the rest falls apart. If you have your connections and they're all doing their own great things, you should be able to put it all together like a Megazord or something and accomplish even greater goals. You got to have, like I was saying, I got Ed as like one of my like business coaches. I got my business coach. I got my photographer. I got Speed, and then I got everyone else. I got the leadership, they help me with my tactics, the chess games and things of that nature. Each piece has to be, great quality. You're not going to get a Nissan part for a Porsche. It's not going to work. So you got to have all the proper components and all the pieces have to mesh really well together to be able to do something great. I think it's pretty simple in that regard. You don't want nobody that sucks on your team. There's a reason why people are picked last for teams.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And then to add on to that, before we go to our grand and final topic, is I'll say it's going to sound like you heard it so many times, but I'll put my own little input into it. You are the average of your friends. Like if you hang around people who are constantly complaining, they don't want to do anything in life, they are all about drama, they have toxic relationships, they saying, oh, my man is this or that, my woman is that, and much more. You're going to accept that as your reality. And people are going to get offended with it. It's like, no, that's not me. But look at your action. Look how you're acting. And like really be honest with yourself. And you are an average of how they are in their life. And if you're talking about them, I don't know why you're saying anything, because you're basically the mirror image of them.
Yeah.
But if you want to actually change your life and live for the better, you change your environment to people who are more positive. And when I say these things, look, I'm talking to myself as well. I'm transparent. But hang around people where you want to be in life. Hang around people who are motivated. People that challenge you for the better, not to destroy you. Because I got to say that. Because you got people who are there to just break everything down. No, I'm saying people who will challenge you to want to see the best in you. And see things way more than the average. They want to actually acquire or even reach for what people think are impossible. Because if you think of, if you really, exactly. Because if you really think of how our life, or I just say in the United States, like all the different innovations have been acquired from our NASA to reach into the moon. Martin Luther King with his dream and much more.
Yeah,
he had to have a great amount of people who were surrounded with him to achieve something or invent or anything that most people who didn't believe thought was impossible.
Amen.
With a close circle around him, they actually kept pushing him or her, and they acquired it. And then after that, everybody else is like, okay, you actually shown that it is possible. But that's how you grow each and every day.
Yeah, and I just wanted to add a little quote to that. Arnold Schwarzenegger. If you don't have any of his books, come on, guys, wake up. So he said this. He says, as a matter of fact, I love it when people say it's never been done before, or it can't be done, or it's impossible. Then he says, because then when I do it, I'll be the first one who's ever done it. So pay no attention to the people who say it can't be done. I always listen to myself and say, yes, you can.
That part. High tides raise all ships. I love that. I love that energy. And then again, happy New Year to you as well. I mean, he's another great brother doing great things.
Absolutely.
So I'm gonna let y'all spin off on this. What do you think about like the art in business, or the importance of having art in business? So how do y'all feel about that? And I know that goes into your M as well, Aaron. So I'll phrase it like that, kind of a little bit more broad.
Yeah, jump in there. I'll hold out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, every company needs a face. Everyone. You need branding. You wouldn't know McDonald's without the golden arches.
You see that golden arch? There it is.
You wouldn't know Cartoon Network without that CN on there. The anime, the video games, Madden. All that. You need branding. You need a face. And once you have that, it creates an idea. It creates a concept that people are able to gather under and focus their thoughts on the goals of that entity, and not even just that, just like having art on the walls, just like when I would go to hospitals, I used to walk around and look at all the art that's on the walls, give you something else to do, something else to look at, and art isn't just like something that can be like enjoyed, is also good for information, a lot of logos and things of that nature are there so that you get a little bit of idea of what they do there. They got like their little elements, things of that nature. But I would say overall, art is important for the business because, like I was saying earlier, you had to have a face, you had to have some type of branding, the colors that you use, like I keep going back to McDonald's, but it's just like the easiest and like most well-known marketing. That color scheme of the yellow and the red, that invokes hunger, and so you're, if you have the right art and you have the right artists working for you, you can hit your audience on more topics than just your basic description. You're hitting them on a subconscious level, you're hitting them on a memory level, maybe it could bring back memories from childhood, things of that nature.
Yeah, but there's one thing I want to make sure that you don't skip over. It's the emotional aspect of art, because life and the daily grind is maddening. It's infuriating. And if you can't have some kind of art diversion, art is a healthy diversion.
Yes.
Not like listening to fucking rap about how to sell drugs better. Or how to take advantage of women. That's not real art.
Yeah.
Real art is when you look at a painting or you look at a graphic design, like he's talking about, or even a brand, and you just feel better. You listen to the song, you're like, yeah, my heart is broke, but I have some glue. Okay. That in and of itself is enough to just, all right, buddy, we're going to live through this. And by the way, if you know who said that, that was Kurt Cobain, Nirvana. Art should be used not only to bolster your success, but to calm you down when you need to go to sleep, not the damn videos, right? Yes. It should be used to create romance in your relationships, if that's the kind of thing that's going on there. Or it could just be something as simple, Aaron, like as we were on our retreat that you mentioned, which we have another one coming up in the summer of this year. That's why I want to make that announcement. So anybody who wants to get involved with that, Chris will make the email request sheet available to you guys. But long story short, it's like we just played guitar on the porch and sang at the campfire and had some cigars. It's like, well, that is a way to let off, decompress, create health out of, stressful situations. One of those guys at the retreat, man, his wife is like terribly ill, but you never would have known because he brought it to the spiritual aspect and he offered it up. And we even had like a little, like a confession, kind of like gold burning ceremony, like a rejuvenation, which is whatever's happened before, it's over with. What we're doing now is the next step. That's powerful, but you got to watch the art. You got to feel the art more than just, well, it looked good, I liked it.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's why I like if I'm listening to a new album, I don't have the TV on or anything like that. I'm fully immersed
into
Yeah. Or like when you're looking at artwork at a museum, you're supposed to take 5 minutes to absorb in the artwork, see if you have any emotional feelings from it, so on and so forth, And when you actually give yourself a time to do those things with the art that you're trying to digest, it's like everything becomes silent. It just becomes you in that moment and whatever you're feeling, and like Ed was saying, that's really good to help you decompress and distress, and really give you an opportunity to really dive deep into what you're going through, and maybe find some lyrics or find a piece of that image that could help you deal with those situations,
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm working on a chapter called Learn to Be Alone. I thought about even writing a whole book called Learn to Be Alone, but it fascinates me how people just so have to be busy and have commotion going on constantly, whether it be their darn TV in the background. It's like, having dinner with your spouse, don't even look at them because your face is buried in the phone. That's like not permissible. Like, I literally gave my 11-and-a-half-year-old son a phone to borrow to call me and listen to Spotify only. And if he messes that up, the game is over. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, you have to test at least children in the area of trust. But hey, how much time do you have left, Chris? I want to make sure we're mindful of our attendants and their time.
So
we're just like the last question. I'm gonna wrap it up, and then we're gonna pretty much end it. So
I have like a poem or two to share, just to kind of like send people on their way.
Oh yeah,
Is that cool? But yeah,
that's cool.
Well, why don't you do what you want to do first, and I'll just make sure we're out of here in less than 10 minutes.
Oh, you good? Like, did you have any other input you want to put on to Aaron?
No, yeah, we're doing pretty well.
Yeah, we good. Like, usually my show is like about an hour. So if you want to do your spill for a poem, go ahead and spit it now.
Okay,
you got
great.
time.
So I wrote this down this morning in the middle of the night when I was thinking about this episode, and just talking about there is artistic success, there is monetary success, there's material success, but there's also family success. And I consider my ability to raise kids and help them to be like what I'm talking to you guys about, self-determining, self-reliant. Not that you don't rely on God, but like navigate life successfully and negotiate your way. I'm more proud of that than the 1,000+ poems I wrote and the 5 published books, one coming out this month. I perform in front of tens of thousands of people all over the country, and still I look at my kids as like, not that I'm responsible for the success, but their ability to do on their own. It's so rewarding. And I see parents not even talk to their kids. They can ask them questions and they go, no, and whatever. Don't worry about it. It's like, yeah, but you're not even looking at your kid, and they're getting a clear message that you're not going to communicate with them, and they're not important. This car you're buying is important, the cell phone, whatever the hell. You are being very straight in your non-communication, what is valuable to you and what is not. So that's a warning for anybody who has kids or wants to have kids. It's not a game you can gamble with. And then Andrew Carnegie, he gave a great quote. It was, I consider my work the finest form of play. Finest form of play. And then if we ever do another show, we got to talk about negotiations, contracts, and how to play art in your sales and phone call things. Oh, by the way, Aaron, do you remember how many face-to-face interviews I've done with people for purchases or jobs?
I think it was like 500 or something like that.
Well, it was only a little bit over 3,200, but give or take a few grand.
Yeah, okay, my bad.
Yeah, but what do I know? The school of hard knocks. So, yeah, this is perfect. I'm just going to read 2 sections here. This song's called "Quick Fix," but it's not a song yet; it's just a poem. Took a ride for the night with a girl who did coke. Never saw a speck of it anywhere. Her actions told the joke. Bartender cut her off. She works this sleazy karaoke crowd. Hide the credit cards in my sock before she left me a souvenir by breaking my damn truck dome light. But hey, what a night. I'm like, I'll skip that part. Drugs, sex, and rock and roll. She could not fill the hole. Ravenous lioness, few days of time. What about getting back to real life? But hey, what a ride. Okay, last little part. Took a ride to the ghost hotel. Serious suitor like an angel. I tried to be careful. Wait before you strip down. Fill in the blank. In a few weeks, staying with you for days, bipolar flaring, consuming fire daring, sang your sweet son to sleep. Know when to say no. Too fast. Too close, but hey, what a heartbreak though, right? It's a wise person, Aaron, who learns from the mistakes of others, not their own silly mistakes.
That right there, that.
Yeah, just true.
So this is probably a good one to end on, just because it hits on so many deep, notes of pain, love, and heartache, and like this, it's not just all bad. So this is, I have a baby that was born in May, right? Her name is Ezra Rainalea Ruhnke, which Rainalea is a combination of Queen and highly exalted one, Aaliyah, right? So I figured I'd be a little, go for the gusto since it might be my last kid. Nonetheless, you gotta live into your name, right, Christopher? Live into your name.
Absolutely.
Get a big name for yourself. So here we go. It's called vulnerable. Like a woman in labor for a while until she sees that face that only gives a smile. Like the arthritis, you grimace in pain. How the pain passes, but the painting remains. Like the childhood friend playing hard to get, though mad as hell, you'll get over it.
Yeah.
See? Who said you can't be funny in poems? Anyways, the heartache of lovers who tossed you to the curb, nothing can faze you now, no trouble disturb. You can live with plenty, you can live with lack, at peace when forgotten or when people have your back. As a pitch black night and thunderous storm, sleep while it passes, awake when it's gone to a glorious dawn. How anxious you were, future seemed unsure, but to persevere, faith to endure. When this environment flashed back to when I was there before, my children almost taken from me, their life spark nearly gone. And by the way, that was 2.5 years ago. They almost died in a near fatal car accident. They were in critical trauma unit at the hospital. Back to the thing. So, and you are supposed to honor all their feelings, not your own. Be suppressed, seen and quiet, money machine and silent. Caterer, nurse, and waiter, no time to care for self, no space to protect. Turning pages of decades, life's changes and same. Epic in your duties, resilient. Density, fascinating. I am the gift, not heavy or bogged down, not encumbered to carry. Can you watch your meltdown? Not shaking or scary. So this is the part I want you to get, and I'm out of here. If you could ever detach and experience enlightenment from the inside out, third-party observer, driver, not the horse. Okay? No longer at the whims of emotion, no prisoner. Be the bird on the wire, the one watching the actor on the stage. No reaction we read, though your baby is born today.
Yeah, I like that.
Oh man, that is nice.
Yeah.
Killing it, spitting bars. He was killing it. Way deeply of a great message. And there's a lot of lessons in it, like everything.
Thank you, gentlemen.
For sure.
So yeah. And like that was powerful. I put
Yeah.
this up there again.
So just last recommendation before we head out. Guys, you got to get on your paper, right? You got to be alone. You got to sit down and say, well, what the hell happened this year, 2024? It's called the State of the Union. You can look that up. Just make a list of your accomplishments, a list of your failures, what went great, where'd you break through, where'd you slop it up, why you in more debt than you did when you started out. And then the other thing is, you got to commit to those goals. You got to get people in your life. Andrew Carnegie called it the mastermind principle, mastermind team. Without a mastermind, people are going to go, hey, Aaron, you can do it. I know you can do it. That's not going to happen, man. It's just kind of like a pipe dream. It's like, well, yeah, I have a goal, but it's in my head. No, it's not a goal.
Mm-hmm.
And with that said, I want to because y'all spend so much fire, but this is a great comment, especially he put right here, one of the most important topics, especially for men. Most don't know how to be alone. And I want to add on to that as we come to a close too as well is don't view being alone so negative.
Exactly.
That's like the beauty of your growth when you basically break out of your shell. It kind of reminds me like the metaphor of a butterfly. It's like, a caterpillar goes into a shell and it's all in darkness and it's like it's inside, it's alone. But once it breaks out of that shell, you see the beauty of a butterfly and it starts flying off into the skies and where it needs to go to its destination.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'd like to add to that. I'd say I don't consider it as being alone. I consider it as being in solitude. Like you say, get the negative connotation out of it. Solitude doesn't mean you're lonely. That means you're choosing to be by yourself to do something. That's what you want, and like you were saying about the butterfly, I think about flowers. Flowers don't grow when you're watching them. They grow in the darkness of the night, So, you grow and you're able to tackle those problems when you're in that solitude. Rather, so like, yeah, you shouldn't call it being alone. You should call it being lonely. It's like I'm in solitude at this moment.
Yeah, and then a pastor said once, he said, Jesus always had a cycle where he did solitude, community, and then service. Solitude, community, service. But what does Jesus know about success and personal development?
Yeah, right.
The name by itself says everything that needs to be said.
Yeah.
So as we round up this show and much more, go ahead and tell the audience where they can find you, so they can follow you on social media or any other things that you have going on for yourself as the music plays.
Yeah, my name again is Aaron Waddleton. I'm a visual artist with House of Goo. That's my company. And you can find me on Instagram at Django Gooey. It's spelled right there. I can't necessarily point like that, I guess. But it's Django Gooey right there. And open to work. Let me know if you need me. I'll give it to you, Ed.
Absolutely. And if you guys need anything on the front of like finding a new employment, getting some business consulting done to strategize your investment portfolio, I'm happy to talk to you there. Good email for my business is OLFest. That's OL as in Our Liberation, like it says in my tag, FEST 2023 at gmail.com. You can find me on LinkedIn under my name, Edward Ruhnke, RUHNKE. Also, if you have any inquiries about counseling as far as like our nonprofit that does, low to no cost therapy for artists internationally, I'd be happy to take your request there. And also we can do tax deductible donations. And then you also can order books through those contact methods. So thank you so much for your time, guys. It's been such a joy to be with you. I mean, what a great way to start up the new year. Then with power and fire and the Energizer Bunny.
Yes. And as you see, the host, as always, C. Holmes, bringing you great next level thinking and helping you bring it to the next level. That's what it's all about, bringing you that energy to help you conquer your success and much more, because the skies is the limits, because we want you to tell your story and get everything that you deserve and much more, because that's what we're bringing in 2025. We're bringing in the haymakers. We may set it up with a jab, but we're going in for the kill and knockout and walking away with that belt. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
But let me go ahead and end this off like with this little closing statement as we close this episode out. What is stopping you from writing your story? It's 2025. Pick up a pen. It's about time for you to write. That's all I had to say for y'all. Tune in next time on Next Level Thinking, and peace out, y'all. It's been great.
Man, Chris, thank you so much. Thank you, Aaron, for being here.
No problem, dude. Have
Bless
fun.
you guys. Talk to you soon.
Yeah.